Everywhere you turn, there are booby traps waiting to steal your manly authority on this planet. Simply look at any popular Netflix film or show that is being marketed, or consider the kinds of people who are being exalted. Nothing is safe from the elite's mind control campaign these days. The acceptance of weakness in men is being brainwashed. I want you to hear a very well-known lion story. Once upon a time, there was a terrible lion that everyone feared. The farmer's daughter falls in love with the lion one day, but here's the thing, the farmer loathed that animal and wanted to do everything in his power to stop the lion when he learned that the lion had fallen in love with his daughter. Therefore, the cunning farmer calls the lion and demands that he remove his sharp claws for the protection of his daughter if he wants to allow him to marry his daughter. The lion thought, well, it's only a tiny price to pay considering how much I stand to gain. Thus, why not? The lion strikes the rock with his claws, breaking them off in the process. The following day, he visits the farmer and informs him, "Give me your daughter's hand in marriage, I no longer have sharp claws." However, the cunning farmer instructs him to take off his sharp teeth and fangs as a final step. The lion consents to this requirement as well, cuts off his pointed fangs, but the next time the lion visits the farmer kills the lion by attacking him. The lion was unable to protect himself this time with his keen claws or teeth. The lion freely threw aside each thing that gave him power one by one. Brothers, keep in mind that the world you live in today is still the same. The ugly reality is that there are much greater powers at work that have purposefully created the matrix to keep you a prisoner to your desires and urges. You can point the finger at the farmer or the ruling class all you want, but the lion was ultimately the one who deliberately chose to follow them. All men should uphold the virtue of strength, whether it be in their professional, financial, or love life. All guys naturally want to feel dominant, powerful, and strong because that is who they are. They all want to feel driven. Many of us lack it as a result of our indulgence in actions that prevent us from developing into the powerful men that we were meant to be. Men today complain and whine about everything, spend a lot of money on drugs and porn, and even make excuses for other people. Let's now examine the 7 traits and behaviors that weaken men. Number 1, making fun of other people. Few people discuss this, but if you're a high-value man, you never look down on others. You may be familiar with the crab's bucket illustration. Others will drag a crab back down if it's on the verge of escaping the bucket. If you catch yourself making fun of people, keep in mind that you are not worthy of them. Naturally, this does not exclude you from correcting someone for a mistake they have made, but refrain from making a comedy out of it. You must mentor and instruct your fellow brothers without harboring any resentment or ulterior motives as a man. Keep in mind that men who are confident and strong do not minimize others. They are there to help and encourage them instead. Although it may seem quite simple, this idea is crucial, especially in the context of today's youth. To quote Mike Tyson, social media has made you much too comfortable with disrespecting people without getting hit in the face for it. Number 2, failure to accept responsibility. Returning to the tale of the lion and the farmer's daughter, the lion's failure to recognize his obligation is the primary cause of his eventual ruin. He was expected to live the lion's life. He was a lion because of his strong fangs and claws, but he disregarded this responsibility and decided to give it all away. The same applies to your life. Proudly fulfill your obligations. I will uphold my responsibilities with pride since they are what makes me a man. You should say that with me. The day you decide to put off your duties is the day you decide to put off becoming a man completely. The statement, "The price of excellence is responsibility," should be committed to memory forever. Repeat after me, accountability is the price of greatness. Number 3, running from failure. This is a challenging one. Most males in today's world will always pick comfort above development. Keep in mind that failure typically precedes progress and is uncomfortable. There is a well-known illustration of a man who goes diamond hunting. He keeps digging despite not knowing how deep the diamond is beneath the surface. When he first starts digging, all he finds is more dirt. He continues to dig, and more dirt comes to the surface, but after a few hours or perhaps days, he succeeds in obtaining his goal. So keep in mind, brothers, that failure does not spell the end. If you approach life with that mindset, you can be sure that you will never be successful in anything. Just consider anything worthwhile, such as starting a business. When you first start out, you could have a lot of failures while you work to understand the industry and get clients. But you won't see yourself improve unless you play the game long enough and don't try to hide from those transient failures. Women are the same. When you first make such approaches, you can come out as a strange adult guy who is awkward around others, but your success lies behind those little setbacks. This is a little price to pay for success for a strong man. When we are young, we are frequently taught to feel ashamed of our errors and failings. You might have stated, "Oh, it's not my fault," or "this individual is to blame," to try and make excuses for them. This is the mindset of a loser. I want you to pay attention to this quote and, if you like, record it somewhere. A weak guy who attributes his failure to the power of others is weak himself. Number 4, submitting to feudal laws too easily. Do you want to know the difference between a high-value man and a coward? Simple. Even though the majority's position is obviously incorrect, the coward will always choose their side. What's worse, the coward will also demand that the high-value guy complies with these wicked and pointless laws and regulations. A man of high worth always examines and evaluates everything before deciding to follow it. We have been misled into believing that you shouldn't judge or do this or that in today's world. It has grown so out of control that you are now merely a puppet and a lab rat that will comply with all of their goals and regulations. There is nothing wrong with complying, but be sure that everything you do is in line with your goals, your mission, and most importantly the law of God. The supreme law governs everything. Do you find yourself being intimidated easily? Do you strive to win everyone over? Some men find it exceedingly tough to learn how to say no, but once you do, you'll realize that the world won't end when you do it. I've witnessed a lot of men live in fear in their marriages, acting as though their wife is some sort of despot. They are afraid to question her or correct her. A great illustration of feudal obedience is this. Number 5, you've got weak body language. Body language is a very important topic. It comprises nonverbal indicators such as a handshake, eye contact, posture, gait, and body language when conversing and socializing with others. Your body language might reveal if you are a powerful or weak man. Their objectives have also clashed with powerful body language, which makes me giggle. To analyze your macho body language, they invent phrases like manspreading. Naturally, this doesn't indicate that you should start performing the splits and extending your legs in a 180-degree straight line, but rather that you should be deliberate with your movements and maintain a masculine frame. Keep in mind that the best and quickest approach to preventing someone from taking advantage of you is through your body language. Number 6, killing your youth days. On this channel, we consistently cover the significance of your formative years. Your 20s and even 30s are what you refer to as the golden years. These are the times when you should continue to build. Imagine a farmer who sows a seed. He doesn't insist that the seed produce fruit for him the following day. In a similar vein, you should plant seedlings during your 20s. You must sow the mental, emotional, and physical seeds necessary for your growth. The most crucial point is that you shouldn't anticipate eating these fruits just soon. Just keep planting, and before you know it, you'll have created jungles and woods that are home to the correct kind of life. I mean to plant by pushing yourself. Although this does not imply that you must work non-stop, always bear in mind that these are the days when you are most energetic and have the chance to take on the biggest risks. Take advantage of it, especially if you're young. By investing in yourself, you could feel as like you are missing out on the hookup culture but resist the impulse. You might not comprehend it now, but as you develop and age, you'll be glad you didn't get sidetracked. You who are young, be happy while you are young and let your heart give you joy in the days of your youth. Follow the ways of your heart and whatever your eyes see, but know that for all these things, God will bring you into judgment, King Solomon said with reference to your youth. Number 7, being lazy and unproductive with your time. When do you go to sleep and when do you get up? How is the flow of your day? When you return from work, what do you do? You need to consider each of these inquiries carefully. Don't consider them a side mission you might consider at a later time. You must meticulously plan your day as a man who wants to push himself to success in every field. Consider the reasons behind the elite's achievement in creating the matrix. Because every component and area has been carefully thought through. Think about every aspect of your day, including the people you spend time with and the kinds of media you consume. Rest confident that the matrix now has free rein to infiltrate you if you don't have these proper kinds of thoughts in your head. Making you lazy is one of the most effective ways the matrix keeps you weak. The biggest killer of men today is laziness. You may have a lot of business or life-related thoughts as a man, but you may never act on them. Laziness will gradually get ingrained in you without your notice if you let it. It will eat you alive and keep you from making positive life advancements. Never forget, brothers, only weak men are vulnerable to sloth. Why? Because a man of high worth picks it up fast and fixes it. Always be aware of your laziness and get rid of it as soon as you can. So keep in mind, brothers, that in contemporary society, vulnerability is a virtue. They want weakness, but your greatest virtue is strength. At every turn, strive for strength, and never forget that God is your greatest asset. Don't forget to show some love by tapping that subscribe button and hit like. To see the next best way to level up as a man, watch these videos here.